I hated doing this, but I had to. I was like, come on, Hideki, choke. Because if he chokes, now we got a fun one down the stretch, but he's running away with the damn thing.
I did not turn it on until you sent the text that said Hideki's gacking, and I was like,
gacking is crazy.
Yeah, it is, because last I had checked my phone, and I was like, he's at 19 under, and he's like, what is it, 7 shots ahead or so? I mean,
here's what happens.
Yeah.
I am glad I was watching on TV, because then I got to see this take place. So on 12, they bring out a rules official. Mm-hmm. And they bring out, and of course, you can't just bring out a rules official to come talk to Hideki Matsuyama. You got to bring out a rules official and a translator.
Yeah.
So now they're on hole 12, and they stop him, and they start talking to him. And the TV broadcast is like, what's going on here? Whatever. And evidently, the radio broadcast was already saying, like, hey, Hideki might have committed a violation on 7. A 2-stroke penalty on 7. So they go back and they find it on the TV broadcast. And they're like, this is what the rules official is talking to him about. So Hideki Matsuyama's on the side of the green on 7. The word doesn't get to him. They don't even say anything to him until 12. But on 7, he's got he's off to the side of the green, right? And there's a ball mark, like somebody's hit a ball and a ball mark, like so a divot almost in the side of the green, like little off the green to the right. And Hideki is walking up to look at, the hole from where he's going to chip to, and he tamps down the divot, which is a 2-stroke penalty. You can't alter the playing surface if it's in your line. But I mean, and if I'm being fair, it would have been messed up if they would have penalized him for this, because it was off to the right. It was not in the line that he was hitting, right? His ball was not in peril of hitting that.
Yeah.
And so, but it was off to the right, and that's where he tamped it down. And so, anyways, the rules official goes and explains to him this whole thing, and then basically, I guess, says there's not going to be a penalty. But you're in the middle of a round. He's a machine. He's making everything, whatever. Bro, he falls apart. He says after the round that it didn't affect him. Well, unless it was just, because then he makes a mess of 12, mess of 13, 14, 15. He doesn't get it back on track until 16, and then he birdies 17 and 18 to make up for it. And I'll give him all the credit in the world, because he just fell apart. They're going into 18, and Hovland's got a 1-stroke lead at that point. And I'm thinking, Hovland's going to win this thing after what's just taken place with Hideki. And Hideki he rallied back, bombs a putt on 17, and then hits like 2 unbelievable shots on 18, which is a hard hole. So credit to him for digging deep, but man, we were really close to having a Hideki, Hovland, Xander Schauffele 3-man playoff.
I've been lit.
Oh my God.
I feel like the last couple of years been a playoff, right?
Both.
Last 2 years.
And the number was 15.
Yeah. So
and that's what they were at.
Yeah.
Hovland and Schauffele were at 15, and Hideki was sitting on 15 too, and then he birdied 17 and 18 and got it to 17.
Because they were talking about on the TV broadcast how Xander, if it could have gotten to a playoff with Xander in it, how he started the day 9 shots back, and it would have been one of the largest, come from behind wins in the history of the tour if he could have done it.
What was the crowd looking like out there? I saw my boy Cat Williams was out there. Shout out my boy Cat Williams.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Memphian Cat Williams, by the way.
It was awesome. I mean, it's hot, bro.
It's 38 hot outside.
So
sure.
I mean, you really gotta pace yourself, and you gotta be pounding water.
It's nuts, because like last weekend, the weather was amazing.
I know.
It was perfect.
Outside.
Had a little breeze.
Right.
And then it just got brutal.
It was hot, bro. I mean, we walked from 14 to 18, and everybody was pouring.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, it's not that long ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you're walking the whole course,
you probably.
I can't imagine. And those jokers have pants on.
Yeah. Okay. And like button downs.
Crazy.
Let me ask you, because I don't know I don't get the golf rules and stuff like that. If you're telling me, like, very easily to see that the divot is not within his sight of where he's going to hit, why did they even tell him at this point? If they're not telling him till 12, why even say anything to him?
I think it's because I don't particularly understand why, But the theory is that you're clearing the air there because if he plays differently, because he thinks that's even a possibility. So you're just wanting him to, I know it did not clear his mind, but you're attempting to, right now, again, he might not have thought anything
But
of
he
it.
didn't even know until they
Correct.
came to him on 12.
But if it
so-
starts to become a buzz that like he may get a 2-stroke penalty, now you're playing differently,
Yeah.
right? And honestly, if he would have gotten assessed a 2-stroke penalty, that thing is going to a playoff. He won by 2.
He
You
won
know what I
by
mean?
2.
Yeah.
And so, kind of crazy.
That also would have made the if say he did get that 2-stroke penalty, those birdies on 17 and 18 become like legendary.
Legendary.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, so congrats to Hideki Matsuyama.